Hello, this is the Army Learning Model Shot in the Arm Workshop 2 Extended Preview. This video highlights the activities of the SITA Workshop 2, an adapted version of the Shot in the Arm course offered by CAC in July of 2012.
Good morning. Welcome to the SITA 2 Workshop. We're going to be focusing on all the 21st century competencies. And now y'all know my style, right? We're not going to do stuff just the way it's always been done. So for starters, stand up. And we're going to do an intro group. We're going to do an intro activity called Inside-Outside Circle. Has anybody ever went speed dating? Don't answer that. It's kind of in that style. So I want you to pair up. I'll pair up with somebody so we'll have even pairs. And we'll just have a pair here, a pair there, 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 and there. Just make like one big circle with your partner. And I'll be over here. You'll take about 60 seconds with the person that you are across from. First, you're going to introduce yourself. And then you're going to tell them what your admin information is. You're the SME on whichever one you have, right? And then just, talk a little bit, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll hear the whistle, but I don't have a whistle, so I'll be like, brrr. And then the outside circle will rotate clockwise. The inside circle will stand fast.
With each workshop, we introduced a different learner-centered way to cover the administrative information. The inside-outside circle is a variation of speed dating where the inside circle stays and the outside circle rotates. Each person has a different piece of admin data that they are the subject matter expert on. They share their admin data with each other and then they introduce themselves to each other. Again, just another creative way to cover admin data and encourage communication amongst the learners.
Again, Workshop 2 is focusing on the 21st century soldier competencies. They are listed in the very back of the TP 525-8-2. So our TLO for this workshop, we're going to develop these 21st century soldier competencies within a training or lesson plan. It's kind of different with this one because with the learner-centric in Workshop 1, you're changing your methods to be more learner-centered. When we're focusing on the 21st century competencies, you're still tweaking your methods and your how you instruct, but your focus isn't so much on the method, it's more on the learning outcomes. Like, how can I get this learning outcome? How can I get this competency in my students as a learning outcome? So first we'll spend some time making sure we know what the competencies are, and then we'll practice doing different methods to get those learning outcomes.
This URL links you to an RSA animation video that we viewed. The video pertains to the paradigm shift needed in order for the vision of ALM 2015 to manifest. After watching the video, the facilitator led a group discussion on their reactions to the concepts addressed in the video.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to dig into these competencies. Again, there are 9 competencies. If you didn't bring a hard copy, which I don't see on anyone's desk, that's okay. It's in the Blackboard. So if you go ahead and log into the Blackboard, everybody has access because you're prior students, or I got Miss Alicia in. And go ahead and open the TRADOC pamphlet 525-8-2. There's 9 of us. There's 9 competencies. So you all are going to, I'll assign you one competency. And with that one competency, I'll let you know what it is I need you to find based on your competency. But first, I'll just give everybody time to get in there and get that pulled open. Okay, so everybody got their competency. This is what I need you to do. We're going to do this jigsaw style jigsaw activity. So I'm taking what could have been a whole bunch of slides of me talking and gave each one of you a competency. I'm going to tell you all what it is I need you to pull from it. And let me just give you why we're doing this. A lot of time leaders, for whatever reason, maybe they don't have enough time, we'll just go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes they don't have the time to read through the pamphlet. So they just skim it. And if you only skim ALM 2015, you might think the bottom line is more technology. And that's not the bottom line at all. That's not even the middle line. That's a piece of it. But if you skim it or if you just hear it by the way, you might think, oh, they just want more technology. They want us to buy more simulators. And that's not it at all. So what we're going to do is take time and really get to understand what are these competencies, because if you don't spend time with them and you just read the title, you might misunderstand what it really is. So each one of you have a competency that you're going to break down, and then after you get and I'll show you the different stuff I'd like you to pull out, we'll form one big group, and then you'll just brief the group. Not up here, we'll just like a discussion circle, and we'll just go around. So tell us all the stuff you found about competency 1. So we really want to clear up misunderstandings and misconceptions. And then after we do that, we'll have a turning point game to assess it and make sure we're clear on it. And then we'll finish up by just practicing, revising some things and see if we're ready for the afternoon portion. Okay, so this is what I'd like you to do with your competency. I'll keep the guidance up here. Okay, so everybody has a competency assigned. I want you to give me a simplified definition and then a clarification of each key word in the description of the competency. For example, comprehensive fitness. What is that? Comprehensive fitness. So if I'm in good shape, no, it's not. But, you know, once you break that down to us, we'll understand what does that even mean, comprehensive fitness. And then the next thing I want you to do is, what are some possible misconceptions based on the title of that competency? And I'll just stick with that one. If I'm a leader and I don't take the time to read it, and comprehensive fitness, they do PT in the morning, we're good. No, that's not but that's a misconception if you don't really get to understand something. And then some examples of what the competency would look like in a learning outcome. So for example, I'll just stick with comprehensive fitness since that one's the one on my brain. After you do the first 3 bullets, okay, I understand what comprehensive fitness is. What's an example of what that competency might look like in a learning environment? Okay, comprehensive fitness I know includes mental toughness. So perhaps I'll give my students a timed practical exercise so that they can feel the stress of having to complete something in a short amount of time. And then also, what are some ideas of how the competency could be promoted in a learning activity? So, and that's kind of along the same lines, these last 2. What would it look like in a learning outcome? So the learning outcome is they're able to write a lot of tests in a short amount of time, or revise a lot of test items in a short amount of time. And in a learning activity, it would be that stress test that I set up for them. I really want to make sure y'all get this, because this is what the class is all about. We're learning the competencies ultimately so we can affect the learning outcomes and change the learning activities for those learning outcomes. So.
After the jigsaw activity, the facilitator uses turning point technologies for a comprehensive check on learning. At this time, we also introduce a better way to do check on learnings using this clicker system. Every student answers every question and can be given immediate feedback. The MSCO staff and faculty also offer a 2-hour mini workshop for anyone interested in incorporating Turning Point into their instruction.
So let's watch Venus teach the atom, and again, just be looking, what competencies do you already see? And then we'll talk about it.
After the competency jigsaw activity and assessment, students were given an opportunity to evaluate a clip of instruction for 21st century competencies. They watched the Venus Teaches the Atom clip and found that Venus fostered 6 of the 9 competencies. Which competencies do you see promoted in the clip? The last section of the face-to-face portion of this blended learning experience is spent showing the learners how to complete the asynchronous part of the workshop. They are to participate in a Blackboard discussion and turn in revisions of a current lesson plan. The lesson plan can be submitted as a PDF file or as a Word document. Students will receive certificates upon completion of the revisions and Blackboard discussions. While Workshop 2 focused on all 9 21st century competencies, Workshop 1 focused on student-centered activities, and Workshop 3 focused specifically on adaptability and lifelong learning. Each workshop was designed to stand alone and can be taken in any sequence, reflecting the point of need training highlighted in the Army Learning Model of 2015. Students receive Phase 1 certification upon completion of all 3 workshops. Please contact your staff and faculty for information on how you can attend the ALM workshops. Thank you.